storyline to this contemporary fantasy set in New Orleans. And also we have this mother huge hurricane roll through. And you can't do it and ignore the hurricane. As soon as you do, it takes over the story. So I tried to figure out how to deal with that. Which, when you write by the first volume, you can see how we do that. But so I actually have several different projects on the plate, and have not had a chance to really sit down and chat with Peter much. Basically, a lot of what depends on that is we sit down with Ace and see what the sales figures are and how much they want to continue the series and how much they're willing to pay us for it. Because that makes it very easy as to what your next assignment is. Well, I want to do it for this much or for this much. Hey! Time to go with those. There were 4 of those? 4. Thank you. Is Bill down here? Because Bill was the one who was packaging that for Bain Books. And unfortunately, Jim Bain has recently died. And is this helping question too?
I believe so, yeah. So things are on hold right now. Bain Books is not considering anything new at the moment. They're trying to regroup. So give them a break, folks. Let them work through what they have to. Although Jim had enormous presence of mind about the order of succession, he had a succession document, as a matter of fact, with all the things that needed to be done and all the things he wanted, his final wishes. He was incredibly well organized about things. So in time, we'll find out. So, sorry to be morbid.
Something I occasionally point out in the panels for the wannabes, being an author and all that. What people often don't realize is you aren't really our market. Okay, you're the end users, but until we sell to a publisher, you never see it. I think it was year 2000. I was down here with Eric DiCarlo, and we did a reading of something from No Quarter, which is a detective vigilante thing set in the French Quarter. We had 2 full manuscripts of that and never found a publisher. People occasionally come and say, whatever happened to No Quarter? We did the circuits, got 8, 10 publishers that sit on it 6 months to a year each, and then turn it back and go, I'm not quite sure how to sell this. Got any humor fantasy? That was a risk going into it. I warned Eric about it. Because first off, it wasn't in my normal humor vein. Second off, it was set contemporary, and third, at that point, I had a very bad reputation for not delivering because I'd gone through some very bad times, which is why I had to have an entire manuscript before anybody would believe it. But it's kind of 3 strikes and you're out. But it was enough of a fun project because I had to gamble the time on it. And No Quarter and No Quarter Blood Trail. But as a matter of fact, in the Dragons one that I'm working on, I borrowed some characters from the No Quarter. And hopefully, if that sells well, we can do the. And if you want to meet the origin of these characters, bug your publisher to buy No Quarter and No Quarter Blood Trail. But really, until the publisher picks it up, the readers never get a chance to see it.
With all the characters in different books, do you find it hard to switch gears and switch projects?
Not really. They're literally in different worlds. It's like when you're a high school student and talking to your folks or talking to your contemporaries. It's such vastly different worlds. Between the fool and the myth, it's not only different worlds, different characters, it's a whole different writing tempo, a whole different style of humor. Definitely with the Dragons, the humor, such as it is in that, is, I'm really looking forward to when Susan reads that.
Be in another country.
Yeah. Susan Ellison, who first met when she was a junior editor at Ace Books and is now the...
She is the senior vice president in charge of publishing at Ace Books.
Which is nice to have someone that's come up with. But I also remember when they originally commissioned the Fool series, and I turned in the first manuscript, and she flew to Ann Arbor, Michigan, to sit me down over lunch and go, it's not funny. I knew it wasn't going to be as bonkers burlesque like the myth. It's going to be a whole different. And spent 2 hours trying. Some of you guys are trying to explain a joke that's bombed. I'm only trying to explain it, but less funny at the content. I've never done this with Susan. I've never done this. Old record. You came to me to write because it's funny. Trust me, it's funny. She's second most humorless person I met right behind my second ex-wife. But and then the book, okay, first one comes out and it sells well. And the big question is going to be how the second book does. Because a lot of people buy it out of curiosity off the myth, but let's see how many people buy the second. And I get this advanced cover in the back. It's got, and we're just like the first one, we're bringing it out in the 9-book dump. That's those cardboard fold-out things that's on the end of the aisles, right? And when you buy the second one, you get 6 pockets full of the second book and 3 pockets full of the first. And I read, I used to be a bean counter. That means they place the exact same number of dumps as they did on the first book, the sales drop by 1/3. And so I'm sitting here waiting for them to call up. Well, rather disappointing sales. Actually, it was just when I left Ann Arbor and was moving down to New Orleans. Well, actually, it's visited Texas first. Stopped in New Orleans and called home and, well, yes, Ace called in about the Fool's Paradise. I said, wait on me. Just made the New York Times bestseller list. I'll shut up, shutting up.
Susan is also my editor. I have a separate series. I've written a lot of books for Ace, and I've got the Taylor's Art medical science fiction. Now, Susan likes my work, and she remains my editor, even though she has this exceedingly high buckety mouth.
Yes.
She has this solid gold door with big bronze letters on it, Vice President, and tiny little
Happy slaves of fame.
And down at the bottom, in tiny, tiny little brown letters, it says, editor. So she maintains some of her authors, so when the two of us started working together, she approved it in ways that she might not have with some others. And she likes them, she says so. Susan doesn't like them. She has no reason to.
Over the years, right, the series, how have certain characters developed beyond what you originally interact with other characters?
Quite a bit, actually. My old mentor, Gardner Dixon, even if it's writing a one-book work, pointed out that that you've finally gotten into them. The characters get off the page and start telling you what they're going to do. Instead of you're manipulating them, boy, this is a great fight scene I had in mind. I designed the whole book to lead up to it, and as you're coming in the chapter before the character goes, I would do that, I'll shoot him in the back. Well, we can save that fight scene and use it in another book. As you say, creativity interacting with the other characters. They do begin to take on a life of their own. When I'm doing the dialogue, I'm often hearing it in my head, and it kind of flows direct. And sometimes they come up with something I hadn't realized. It's like, that led to that works. That I would actually set up something I can sneak into chapter 10. One of the things when I actually go back and reread my old stuff to check on a point, there are actually times when I come across whole sections I don't recall writing. Hey, that's pretty good. It's a lot better when you're actively working on it. This is it. I mean, this will never, the whole project sucks. Not at all. Well, first off, a lot of those who were doing it were ones who got heavily edited. Occasionally, Gordy used to tell me about, at one point, when the editors will fluctuate on how long a book they want, depending on the paper prices and what they can charge on the cover. But there was a point where it came in, when the editor said it was too long, they'll just pull off the last 3 or 4 chapters.